You mentioned talking to someone to run, trying to find a candidate for the Republicans, and wanting them to be ethical. You did mention at your announcement that you believe there needs to be a particular type of candidate.
Yep.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I want somebody with my passion. And I don't want to clone, I don't mean it that way, but I want somebody who's doing it for the right reasons, who wants to help people. I said what I'm going to miss the most is the heart and soul of the residents and the friendships that I developed over the years. This is a wonderful district. The people who live here and work here and I've gotten to know are top of the line. And I'll go back to my CERT teams. Every CERT team that came to me in Albany said they've been all over the state in different crises, helping with different things. They were never treated even close to the way they were treated in the North Country, with the home-cooked meals and people handing them water and stopping to thank them for their jobs and holding up the signs. And the state police have said the same thing, and the other law enforcement folks. So, we just have a wonderful district. I want somebody who feels that, who has the experience to get it, that intuitive kind of gut reaction of what an honor and a privilege it is to serve the people who live here. Somebody who has a great work ethic. I think I set the bar high, and I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that, but one of the things said to me at the press conference last week by various media people were, they see me everywhere. I sure try. The only reason I don't get to an event is if I have so many on that day I can't make the distance to get there. How many times do you and I see each other at events? So, and I'm proud of that. But it's not because I've ever felt an obligation. It's because I want to be there, and that's what I want. I want somebody who doesn't say, I've talked to a couple people over the years, and as they said to me, "Boy, if you get done, I might want to run." And I kind of hand them my calendar, and they say, "Well, do I have to go to all that stuff?" And boy, I right away say, you really don't want that job.
You think Republicans need to find somebody cut from the same cloth?
I hope so.
You've had some opponents over the last few election cycles who have been to the right of you.
Yeah.
And do you think having someone to the far right of you would be a mistake for the Republicans in the North Country?
Oh, I think it would, because they can't fit in with the mainstream of the Assembly. We have many that are much more liberal than I am coming out of New York City, particularly on correction issues. That's probably been the biggest battle I've had over the last 10 years on that corrections committee. But I think that for the most part, people are down the middle of the road. And if you want to succeed in Albany, and I like to think I have, I meant it when I said at the press release last week. One of the things I'm the most flattered about are the number of my Democrat colleagues who came and asked me to run for re-election this year. And that's no reflection on my Democrat opponent. I think and believe it's a reflection on the bipartisan manner in which I've operated in the Assembly.
But you had a number of opponents to the right of you that had more of the attitude of, we're going down, take no prisoners, we're not going to work with Democrats, we're going to push our agenda.
They get nothing done. I mean, I have been able to, I got the Franklin County occupancy tax passed 2 years before the Senate could, and I'm not, again, it's just because I went to the leadership and said, please, we need this. And it was at a time when the governor wasn't approving tax bills, but we got it through the Assembly. And there were other examples of that sort of thing. I've been able to work on education for the North Country because I could talk to the Democrat members of the Education Committee. I think somebody who is to the far right, and we have them in our conference, and then they'll come to me and complain because I'm getting bills passed, or I'm getting appointed to committees, or I'm doing things, and they'll say, they never get those opportunities. And well, you can't go in with an attitude of all you want to do is argue with people and think they're going to turn around and help you. So that has been my concern about my far-right Republican opponents the last 3 elections. And I really would be very disappointed if the electorate up here picked somebody like that to go down there, because I think it would be a real disaster for the 115th district.